Hi, it's Marieta. Thanks a lot for tuning in. In this video, I want to talk about how can you go from OPT student status in United States to E2 investor. Stick around. Coming up. Alright, if you're new to my channel, welcome. Make sure to subscribe, hit that bell so you guys are notified when I release new content. And in this video, I want to give you my strategy that I'm suggesting to aspiring entrepreneurs, international students who are actually studying in United States and their OPT is about to expire. And this strategy is actually something that I've done myself. I experienced it myself. I remember the time when I graduated from law school in Chicago 10 years ago, and I was looking for my H-1B visa sponsor. And I couldn't find H-1B visa sponsor because back then the market was literally full of unemployed lawyers. I was competing with American lawyers. It was just very tough back then. And so I was forced to sort of reinvent myself, and I decided to actually start my own company, and then I sponsored myself and I got myself E2 visa status. So that is exact strategy that I started to actually teach other people through my YouTube channel, as well as through my online programs, and then of course one-on-one as an attorney. So what you can do as an OPT student is that you can actually incorporate. There is a way you can incorporate while you are an OPT. And when I say incorporate, you literally start your company. You start LLC, which is limited liability company, or corporation, and you can actually work for this company. So it's a wonderful opportunity for you to actually get started with this business and then change the status from your current status to E2 investor visa. So there are basically two ways we can do that. We can do it through changing the status within the United States while you're still on OPT, or we can do it through consular processing if you are abroad. Like maybe you left the United States because you could not find your H-1B visa sponsor. Or maybe you did actually find the H-1B visa sponsor, but your H-1B visa sponsor sort of wasn't really selected in the petition. You were not selected, and the application wasn't necessarily processed afterwards, because as you know, each year more people are applying for H-1B visa, and therefore there is the H-1B lottery going on. So if your petition wasn't selected and you couldn't really do anything about it, then the only way to actually deal with the situation is to leave the country, because you don't want to overstay, right? So if you left the United States and right now you are home, we can still apply for E2 visa through the consular processing. So if you ask me what's the best way, what's the best strategy, I guess it depends, but I usually advise my clients to do it through consular processing, because then you can actually get a stamp to your passport and then you can freely travel if you need to. And same applies to people who are running multinational companies, that they need that stamp so they can actually freely travel back and forth. So the idea is really to start while you are on OPT, start with the business idea, validate the concept, right? Once you validate the idea, then and only then incorporate, and then start with your business plan. And of course, if you need help, you can reach out to me. I do actually coach young entrepreneurs who want to start companies and businesses in the United States. And we start with idea validation, and then we start with the business creation, right? So then we incorporate the business. And once we incorporate the business, then we actually sit down and we strategize. How much do we need to invest, right? For E2 visa, you have to invest anywhere from $50,000 to $500,000. Now, this is based on my experience, by the way. Don't take it literally, because people always come to me and they are like, hey, I have $50,000. Can I invest $50,000 and get E2? So the answer to this question is maybe, maybe not, I don't know. Why? Because this really depends on location of your business and the nature of your business, right? Every business is different, right? And therefore I can't really tell you what is sufficient amount for you and for your business. Another thing we need to consider is the marginality. The business must not be marginal. So people always ask me, what does it mean? What does it mean marginal? Well, it means that the business actually needs to be profitable before we apply for your E2 visa. That being said, we not only going to create the business, but we're also going to make sure that the business is making profit. And this is the challenge many young entrepreneurs are facing. somehow they manage to put the funds together. Maybe they borrow money, you know, they may have personal loan. And by the way, if you do have personal loan, make sure it's secure loan. I highly recommend that. So they somehow manage to pull the funds together, but then the next step is that their business is actually marginal. And that is the issue that I've been seeing, because your business needs to show by evidence that you are able to support yourself. Simply stated, you have to support yourself. And if you have family members with you, you need to show by evidence that these family members are taken care of, right? Because otherwise it's not gonna fly for you. The marginality requirement is very important on top of the investment requirement, right? And so don't get scared with the investment. That's not that difficult in my opinion. You know, if you're investing under $100,000, it's still pretty small investment. However, keep in mind that we are talking about real business. We're talking about companies that are actually generating profit, and therefore it's really for real entrepreneurs, like I said. Like I said, if you need help, you're welcome to reach out, guys. I also have free training below this video you can access, where I am breaking down the requirements, what you need to know, you know, what's the first step, second step, third, like everything you need to know about E2 visa. And in my opinion, as an entrepreneur, as an immigrant, someone who I've done this process myself, I can tell you from personal experience that certainly the level of freedom you have with E2 visa is very different than compared to what you're going to experience if you actually work for someone, right? On the other hand, yes, you do have your own responsibilities. You are responsible for growth of your company. If you don't grow this business, you might have difficulty to extend your E2 visa, right? E2 visa initially will be issued for 2 years. Now, it depends where you're from, what country. Usually, the stamp in your passport is going to be issued for 2 or 5 years. The maximum length of stay in the United States is actually 2 years. You can keep extending E2 visa as long as you are paying taxes and the business is profitable. So keep that in mind that it's not for everyone, but if you are an entrepreneur in your heart, if you have a calling to monetize your idea or passion, then go for it. I highly, highly recommend E2 visa, not only as someone who's done it myself, but also someone who was able to help hundreds of other entrepreneurs over the years to actually live their American dream through E2 visa process. So thank you so much for tuning in. If you are new here, make sure to subscribe, support this channel by liking, sharing this video, and I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.